Hello, welcome to Storytime with Miss Appleyard. I wish I could be reading this to you in the library, but I can't. So this is the second best thing. I'm going to make a video of me reading to you. You might hear a little sound off to the side. That's Chessie the rabbit. One of these times I'll show you Chessie. So the book I'm going to be reading today is called Biblioburro, which is a book about somebody who loves books and loves kids and who lives in Colombia, so that's the Spanish-speaking world. So for all those reasons, this book is very near and dear to my heart, and I hope you like it. Before I begin, I might add this book is a biography. It's nonfiction, so it's a true story based on the life of Luis Soriano. Deep in the jungles of Colombia, there lives a man who loves books. His name is Luis. As soon as he reads one book, he brings home another. Soon the house is filled with books. His wife Diana grumbles. What are we going to do? Eat books with our rice? Luis thinks long and hard. At last, an idea pops into his head. I can bring my books into the faraway hills to share with those who have none. One burro could carry books, and another burro could carry me and more books. Luis buys two sturdy little burros. He names them Alpha and Beto. He builds crates to hang on their backs and paints signs. Biblioburro, the burro library. Then Diana fills the crates with books. This week they travel to El Tormento. Every week, Luis and Alfa and Beto set off across the countryside to faraway villages in the lonely hills. When the sun burns high in the sky, Luis and the burros stop at a stream to drink the cool water. After they have their fill, Beto balks. He protests, he's not happy. Luis pulls and pulls on Beto's reins, but Beto won't budge. The children are waiting for us. At last, the burro gives in and steps across the stream. Deep in the hills, the path is lonelier than ever. Bird songs are the only sounds they hear. Then, from deep in the shadows, a bandit leaps out. Please let us pass, Luis says. The children are waiting. The bandit scowls at the books, but he takes one and growls. Next time I want silver. The Biblioburro continues on its way over the hills until at last Luis sees houses below. The children of El Tormento run to meet him. Luis insists on reading a story before they choose books to borrow, just like in our library class. Today I have a surprise for you, he says. He reaches behind the books and pulls out a bundle of masks. Little piglets. Put on a mask and I'll read you a tale about pigs. When the story ends, it's time for everyone to choose a book. The children hold their books close as they say goodbye and walk home. Luis and Alpha and Beto head back over and around the hills, across the grasslands and streams and into the sunset. At home, Luis feeds his hungry burros, and Diana feeds her hungry husband. But then, instead of sleeping, Luis picks up his book and reads deep into the night. And far away in the hills, candles and lanterns burn. As the children read borrowed books deep into their night, too. I hope you enjoyed learning about this individual who brought books to the countryside of Colombia. And I wish I had a burro, or I could ride on my bike and bring you all books. I really hope you have books at home, and that you can read deep into the night as you're falling asleep. Before you fall asleep, you'll have a good book and read during the day. My hope is that you have some books to read. I don't know, maybe someday you can look out the window and see the Biblioburro coming in the streets of Seattle, or except it will be Bibliobicicleta with Miss Appleyard on it. All right, I hope you are well, and I'll see you next time. Take care.